Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming and today's video is sponsored by Dragonheir Selling Gods. Dragonheir is an amazing high fantasy RPG game that I've been in love with for almost a year now. I'm playing this game daily and yeah, I really love it. I just really love it. And they're doing some really amazing things in this game. Apart from the graphics, they have some cool mechanics when it comes to the bosses. They have a ton of really amazing heroes. It's a really free-to-play friendly game as well because you can pretty much beat this game completely free-to-play just by using epics and rare, and it's pretty easy to get those ones, I'm not gonna lie. So that's one of the things that really attracted me about Dragonheir. So if you want to start playing Dragonheir, or if you want to support me, there's gonna be a link in the description and in the pinned comment of this video that you can click, and you can download Dragonheir today on any device. Basically, it's on Android devices, it's on iOS devices, it's even on Mac, and obviously it's on PC, it's on the Epic Games Store, it's on Steam, so you know, it's everywhere. So one of the cool stuff that they're doing right now up until the 10th of April is they have a Dungeons and Dragons collaboration. This is basically the second installment. The first one, they brought Dritz Doulden into the Dragonheir world. Now this time they brought Elminster Omar. So if you start playing by the 10th of April, you're still gonna have a 14-day event where you can, you know, go through the story, do all the challenges and do all the fun stuff, and you can get yourself Elminster Omar and a pretty amazing artifact as well, you know, as long as you play and you do the whole things right. I have some videos on my channel if you want to check about like, you know, a little bit of a guide of how you can do some of those challenges to pass it, so just make sure you go check them out, those ones out. But what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about what I believe to be the top 10 best epics supports for season 2. Okay, we already got this, we're already through the season 2, we're just waiting for the settlement. There's still you know, almost what, like 9-10 days to go depending when this video comes out. But I basically experienced the whole season, you know, early, mid, end game, whatever, all the fights. So after doing all of that, I came to the conclusion that the 10 that I put on my list, you know, if I miss somebody or if you guys disagree with somebody, leave it in the comments below. Who would you replace? But I want to go through the heroes that I believe to be mandatory for season 2 to be built, and nobody should skip building them as long as you obviously have them. So just epics. But I guess let's start from the top of the list. I have them written, and it's gonna be the one and only, still I believe from my point of view, to be the best epic in the game, and that's gonna be Voros. The reason why, again, he's gonna be really amazing is because he has a full board hit. It's really amazing to help you in goblins, to help you basically anywhere where you need AoE, especially now with Grave of Venom having 4 of those orbs to defeat. Just makes it easier to just bring Voros, bring a Sigrid alongside, and it's amazing. So full board hit on this one, buff remover, again, he's still gonna be amazing for any dungeon, and at the same time he brings you a ton of healing on the passive. So Voros, 100%, you're still gonna wanna build him, maybe even from the beginning. You might even wanna start off with him because Frost and Radiance is a really strong pairing this season. Then number 2 is going to be, again, from my point of view, I'm not saying that this is 100% right, but from my point of view, the second best epic in the game, that's going to be Fbath. He's not going to be maybe as used as previous seasons in the early game while you're progressing because, again, because of the pairing, and I guess mostly if you're not going to have the third one that I'm going to talk about, but he's really amazing because he brings an attack penalty on the ultimate, pretty wide range. He brings healing on the battle skill, again, pretty awesome. And then on the passive, he can also bring more healing and dispel some debuffs. Plus, he brings an aura, a Captain Aura in dungeons. So Fbath is 100% still going to be one of those best ones that you're going to want to build because he's going to help you for the endgame boss, for the Chaos Shadows, even in dungeons, you know, if you're struggling. He's going to be really helpful. Now we're going to move over to number 3, the third best epic in the game from my point of view. And his value kind of skyrockets if you have his specific artifact. That's going to be Garious. The reason why he's so amazing is because of this ultimate, okay? He completely cleanses all the debuffs from himself, then he heals all allies based off of his defense. Well, this one looks like, yeah, it's not that much, you know. Yeah, 4,800 defense, 600% of that. It doesn't sound that much. Yeah, but he has a passive, okay? He has this passive that just makes him so much stronger because he's basically gonna get another 40% defense. And if I'm not mistaken, the cool thing about this passive is this 40% defense is gonna scale off of your total defense once you're in the fight. So not just off the base of 1200, but off the total. That's why he's one of the best and hardest to kill heroes in the game, and that's what makes him amazing. Obviously brings a defense in all battle aura, pretty decent hit on this one if you build in some damage, but you would not. But he's definitely one of the best heroes in the game. And like I said, especially if you have the Gatekeeper staff, then he's going to be your tank of choice this season. Because if you have this one, he's going to be in your Vortex team, he's going to be in your Dungeons team, everywhere. You're just going to use Garious everywhere because, like I said, Radiance plus Ice is just the best pairing this season from my point of view. Now let's move over to the next one. The next one that's really an amazing support again, and it's kind of mandatory this season as the pairing is really troublesome. That's going to be Adolphus. Like, you might already know, you might have already heard about Adolphus, but if you didn't, the reason why he's so amazing is because he brings some massive shields if you build him with enough enlightenment. He also brings some healing more shielding on the battle skill, healing on the passive. So basically, if somebody has a little bit of a shield and then he tries to apply a shield on that person, not only does he apply that shield, but he also heals them for the 50%, 50% of the shield that he grants. So as long as you have him and like any other shielder in the team, or just him by himself, you're going to be able to do some amazing things. And Adolphus he's a god tier epic. I'm not going to lie. Definitely, they're in the top 5 from my point of view. So you really want to build them, like I said, especially because this season, fire is paired with necrosis, and there's very few healers in that pairing, There's none in the fire, only Liko that does it a bit on the battle skill, and then you only have 2 on the necrosis, Estella and Megan, if you're talking about epics or lower. So, definitely Adolphus's value skyrockets, and he's going to be really important, and you 100% should build him if you have him in Season 2. Now, the next one that's going to be really awesome, and his was a really good one again last season, is going to be Zarloth. The reason why Zarof is so awesome is because, again, kind of like Voresh, his versatility of his kit. Amazing aura of attack in all battles, amazing hit on this one that can do a ton of damage, and it also heals, and it applies fear, so basically, does everything. This is especially good against the endgame boss, the last boss of the season, because it makes the boss do less damage because of this fear, so he's amazing because of that. On the battle skill, he applies a debuff, and most of the fights, having this debuff helps a ton against the Chaos Shadows and against the endgame boss. This is really amazing. And also, again, more healing on the passive. So Zarloth, 100%, he's one of the top tier epics that you still want to build this season. Now, the next one that I'm going to move over to is going to be my one and only Lolita. Like, Yola is still there. Yola is still amazing. She's still going to be up there as one of the best epics in the game because, again, she brings the Captain Aura of, increases everybody's attack in all battles by 24%. And it's basically all about her ultimate. She hits 3 times with this ultimate, has a chance to apply silence, and applies attack penalty. And the cool thing about this is this silence, while she does the triple hit, she can convert it into a stun because of her passive. When attacking enemies under silence, there's a 40% chance of changing silence into stun. So that's just what makes her amazing. She also brings a silence on the battle skill. So Yola is still one of the top tier epics that you're gonna want this season, especially because she's gonna pair really good in the lightning and poison pairing on Season 2. Now, the next one that I want to talk about is somebody that I realized in Season 1 at the end how amazing he is, and he's going to be really amazing this season as well, especially at the end game boss, but even before that, because of his kit, that's going to be GLaDOS, okay? Again, same reason as Adolphus, there's not too many healers, shielders, in the fire and necrosis. In the fire, you have, you have Adolphus. Maybe if you pulled Elements to Romar, you have that one. But then you can bring in GLaDOS as well, because Same thing, he brings a massive shield that scales off of attack and his max HP. But the cool thing about this one is if the allies are under his shield, they also gain debuff immunity, and that can come in. That can be really helpful, you know, for progressing. If you need some help with fire domain, if you need some help with some of the Fey meander, and he's gonna come in clutch against the end game boss because he's gonna be applying a ton of debuffs. So this one's gonna be helpful. And a cool thing that he also has is on the battle skill, he has kind of like a shadow attack penalty. Okay, he steals part of the attack of the enemy and basically makes it his own. So if you cast this before he does the ultimate, those shields are gonna be even bigger. And then he can also be interesting if you're facing stuff with some control, because every time somebody loses a shield, sorry, every time somebody's inflicted with control that has a shield from him, it just removes that shield and dispels that control effect. So that can come in clutch. So definitely GLaDOS is not somebody you want to sleep on. 100% I will build them this season. Now we're down to the last three. Okay, the last three are going to be, again, pretty interesting ones. And the first one that I want to talk about is going to be, if I manage to find her, I think she's level 95 maybe. Where are you? Thea. There we go. Thea. So the reason why Thea is really amazing is, first of all, she has kind of like in the same thing as Season 1, she has this ultimate that can apply invisibility and debuff immunity, and it's a really low recharge time. Even without scrolls, this one's on a 19-second complete recharge. You only need to give her a little bit of skill haste, and for the Grave of Wrath, for example, you can get this down to an 18-second recharge time, and then all your ranged units are gonna always have debuff immunity, and that makes her amazing. Plus, she can be a little bit of a shadow healer, because again, there's not too many. That's why, like, half of these ones from Fire and Necrosis are just healers and support, because they're lacking that. So she can be a good healer with this, and she has a little bit of self-sustain on her passive as well. So Thea's definitely going to be awesome because, like I said, she's going to be good for Grave of Wrath. She's going to be amazing if you're going to build a ranged team for the chief challenges, the Chaos Shadows. You're basically going to have one tank in front, then her and three other ranged in the back. They're never going to get hit. She's going to keep them with, invisible, debuff immunity, and she's going to keep healing the tank with the battle skill. And then when it comes to the end game boss, same principle, the Mecha Torque, you're going to want debuff immunity on your ranged people because the boss applies a ton of debuffs. She's going to come in really clutch. So Thea, definitely keep an eye out for her, and honestly, you don't really need to scroll her. If you're short on scrolls, she can work just fine without scrolls because she has a 16-second recharge time. However, if you do scroll her against the endgame boss, you can basically go twice for every time the boss gets a turn, because the full rotation is 30 seconds. So that's Thea. Now we got two more that definitely need to make the list. One is going to be, let me see, level 100 is in 95. Again, some of these ones, if they're support, you don't really need to get them to 100. They can do their job just fine at level 95 or 90 or whatnot. So another one that's going to be still amazing this season, that's going to be Vook. The reason for that is he's going to be awesome if you need some help in the Vortex, in the dungeons, in the chief challenges, in the end game boss. He's going to be basically amazing everywhere. The reason for that is he has a simple but amazing kit. AoE heal on the ultimate that dispels 2 debuffs, which is just awesome. Like I said, anywhere where you have 1 or 2 debuffs, he comes in there, dispels those debuffs, and then he heals everyone. But at the same time, he brings an attack penalty on the battle skill, and it's the big version. So having the big version of attack penalty on the battle skill can be pretty helpful. You cannot time it, but it's definitely gonna help to to have it out there when you don't have anything else. And then also he has an interesting passive when he's afflicted with a debuff. There's a 100% chance of inflicting accuracy penalty. This one can come in clutch either against the Rot, but not necessarily there. The best power this one can be interesting and good is against the Mecha Torque boss, because on that one, the more unique debuffs you apply on the boss, the more damage you're gonna do. So he basically would bring an accuracy penalty and attack penalty too. So Vook definitely still one that you 100% want to build in Season 2, because he's awesome. And now for the last one on the list. Again, the list is just in random order. It doesn't mean, like, apart from, Vorash, that from my point of view is at the top, and the first ones, every other ones are like, depending what you need and what you have. But the last one that I want to talk about, which is going to be somebody that's, yep, look at this, level 90, that's Nathaniel. Nathaniel is amazing because he has a cleanse on the battle skill. It is a weird range because there has to be people around him, but he dispels one random debuff, one debuff from all allies, and he applies recovery over time. So he basically brings some healing, but at the same time he does a hit on the ultimate, which, you know, does a little bit of damage, but he can bring a pretty solid shield that also brings defense up, okay? And at the same time on the passive, when a buff expires or is dispelled from any target on the field, heals the ally with the lowest current HP by 5% of Nathaniel's max HP. I'm sorry. This effect can only be triggered once every 1 second. And also HP in all battles. So Nathaniel is definitely an amazing support that you're going to want to build this season, because honestly, if you build him from the beginning or just towards the end, he's still going to be useful. He can carry your team. If you want to build a poison plus lightning team this season, Nathaniel is going to be a good support for you because of those shields, those heals, and the aura that's going to work everywhere. So this one's gonna be, I'm not sure where I'm gonna apply it, but I realized after I finished recording this video, so you know, this is gonna be in the middle, I forgot one, and that person that I forgot is actually somebody that's pretty amazing if you wanna go, especially if you have like Dritz or some other people like that, and that's Raava, okay? Raava is the best, if you don't have Losenia, which is kind of the same, but Raava is the best Frost applier. So if you wanna go with Frost this season, because like I said, you might have Dritz the Urden, or you might want to build something with Usha, or you know, you have Oster. Raava's gonna be your hero because she brings an ally, an aura of crit damage in all battles. She brings this Nexus that keeps applying Frost, so amazing for Frost application, and amazing for Witch's Remains if you have it. And then also Frost on the battle skill, and on the passive for each enemy under Frost, she gains extra attack up. So she can also do some damage, but she is just amazing as supporting your Frost people and be as a Frost enemy. I think she's the only one actually on the list that's just specific for a class, but she does it so good that I definitely want to put her on the list. But yeah, I think that's it. That's my list of the top 10 epic supports that I believe to be must builds in season 2. So if you're somebody that, you know, maybe just started the game, you're gonna go through the season 1, keep in mind this video to watch it later. Or if you're somebody that started season 2 just now, well, keep in mind the people that I put on this list, because you're 100% gonna need them. Maybe not for all of them from the beginning, but in the end game, if you have them, 100% build them. At least once you start getting to the chief challenges, Chaos Shadows. But anyway, this is gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you all for watching this video. Thank you, Dragonheir Selling Odds, again for sponsoring today's video. And for you guys watching, if you wanna, if you wanna start playing the Dragonheir Selling Odds today, or if you wanna support this channel, there's gonna be a link in the description and the pinned comment that you can click and download Dragonheir today. It's available on Android devices, iOS devices. It's available on Mac. It's on PC, on the Epic Games Store, on Steam. It's basically everywhere. So yeah, yes, we're gonna leave it at this for today. Thank you all for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.